Former UFC champion Robert Whittaker delivered one of the most sensational performances of his storied UFC career Saturday when he stopped Ikram Aliskerov by first-round knockout in the UFC Saudi Arabia headliner. A huge win for Whittaker, who of course was originally supposed to fight Khamzat Chimaev on this card. Chimaev falls out, Aliskerov steps in on a little over a week's notice, and Whittaker shows him that he is absolutely the upper tier of this middleweight division still after being in the UFC for so long. He puts this man away in the first round, definitive fashion, beautiful uppercut, beautiful finishing combination, and a statement performance from Whittaker to the middleweight division against a guy who a lot of people thought might be able to beat him and break through. Aliskerov was only a minor betting underdog coming into this fight, but by the looks of it, Whittaker should have been a massive favorite, and he now puts himself back in the mix of middleweight contenders. He, of course, beat Paulo Costa in February, now back-to-back wins and riding high at 185 pounds, but a lot of questions about how this whole weight class is going to shake out going forward. Of course, we now have the official announcement of Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya for UFC 305 on August 17th in Perth. Whittaker and Dana White saying post-fight at this event that a backup role in weighing in for that fight absolutely possible, but Whittaker also not ruling out the possibility of just scheduling a fight on that card of his own. He feels he owes Perth a fight after withdrawing from a previous card there, and I think that would make a lot of sense to have him fight on that card against another middleweight contender. And the one who stands out, many people suggesting this in the aftermath of the fight, Sean Strickland. That would be extremely logical given the divisional rankings, given how everything's lining up timing wise, but we know very clearly Sean Strickland making his position known. He is not willing to take another fight until he gets a title shot after beating Paulo Costa at UFC 302. He feels he was robbed in January against du Plessis of his title, and he feels that he deserves the winner when du Plessis fights Adesanya in August. Maybe the UFC can make it worth his while and offer him a sweet pot to fight Whittaker. That would be an easy title eliminator, number one contender fight. I think that would be fantastic. Maybe the UFC goes a different direction. They could rebook Chimaev. A couple other fights out there could be possible for Whittaker if he just wants to fight anyone on the card. He obviously is willing to fight anyone given what he just did against Aliskerov. So Whittaker, I think, is in a very strong position now. We'll see what the UFC comes up with, what they present to him, whether it's a backup role or a title eliminator. He is in very close proximity of that title shot. There is, of course, a lot of questions around how he would do if he does get that shot. 2 losses to Adesanya, 1 loss to du Plessis, but he is eager to avenge those, and if he looks anything like he did against Aliskerov and showing up in a title fight, his chances of regaining that belt are pretty solid.